Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day, and today we're back with another video about Galaxy of Heroes. And I'm going to preface this by saying I'm aware that this isn't the sexiest topic to talk about, but we're going to be talking about mods today. And the reason I felt that I should make a video about this is because in our last Grand Arena Championship series, I noticed that we had some opponents that did a pretty poor job on modding. And modding really is going to be paramount to being successful in Galaxy of Heroes, especially in something like Grand Arena. So I figured it's a good idea to talk about mods, how to not hate mods, and how to be a little bit better at modding. Now, I will say I am by no means an expert at mods, so this is more amateur modding advice going to people who might also not be super great at modding. So just some advice, just some fun facts, some tips and tricks, but definitely, nothing groundbreaking is going to come out of this video. So we're going to go ahead and talk about mods. If you enjoy the video, go ahead and hit a like, and you know what? I'm going to lower my standards. If you don't hate the video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you really don't hate the video, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get perhaps notifications for more content that you might also not hate. Let's go ahead and get into it. So now, the first thing I want to talk about mods are how to keep track of your mods and how to stay on top of your mods, because let's be really honest, I hate mods. I hate mods a lot because I do my mods and I actually help two of my friends with their mods. And I'm real tired of mods. And the biggest thing that I could tell you about mods is inventory management. Okay, maintain your mods. If you are at a place with your mods where after you do an assault battle or something and you get mods from that, and you have to sell a mod to get your new mod, you're in a very bad place with your mods and you need to clean up your mod inventory. That is what I had to do. I was at such a bad place with my inventory and I had to spend about 30 minutes to an hour just cleaning up my inventory to get to where it was manageable. So make sure and stay on top of your mods. Bite the bullet, go through, clean up your mods, get rid of the ones you don't need, and then spend 5 minutes every day, every other day, just cleaning out your mods so that you can only keep the ones that you need. Don't keep all of your mods and hoard them and then have to sell them all at once, because it can make it super hard to do and it makes it really not fun to do. So for something that's already not fun, it can make it far more daunting. So just stay on top of your mods. Best way to stay on top of your mods is to just go through, filter, start at the top. I start with the yellow mods. I don't have any that are level 1. Go through and just see if there are any. I right now am focusing on speed. We'll talk about what to focus on here in a minute. But for me, what I want out of these mods, just speed. That's all I care about. So I'll go through. Really, I don't know if I have any mods that I can talk about. I'll go through and I'll look at mods. If they don't have any speed on them, or if I upgrade them and they don't have any speed on them, sell them. They're gone. We're done. And just I'm sure that many of you know this, but if you don't, white mods only upgrade them to level 12. Green mods only go up to 9. Blue only go up to 6. Purple go up to 3. And then yellow, they tell you everything for free. But you just want to get to where you can see all of the different secondary stats that are on there. For me, if I see one that doesn't have speed, boom, it's gone. I'm done with it. I don't bother upgrading it anymore. I don't bother giving it any more slicing materials. There's no reason to slice. Slicing materials come at a premium. Do not slice trash mods. Don't waste your time, don't waste your energy on them, just get rid of them. So that's super important, and it's a really good way to keep track of your mods. If you sell them daily and you just look through them daily, get rid of the ones that you don't have what you're looking for, it's gonna be a lot less daunting of a task, and it's going to make it far less unenjoyable. Yeah, that's how I meant to say it, less unenjoyable. I'm not gonna say it's enjoyable because we know it's not. Now, the next thing that I wanna stress is this isn't Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and it's not even, as Mobile Gamer calls it, Star Wars Galaxy of Mods. This is Star Wars Galaxy of Speed, because for the most part, for most of your teams, speed is what you need. If you go into your squad arena, and it's primarily important for your team in squad arena, your most competitive teams, if you go in, let's hop into the ranks, and let's go look at the top. Let's not talk about Galactic Legends, but look at this boy with his Darth Revan team. He's gonna have, I guarantee, probably 150 plus speed off of his mods. 158 speed on his Darth Revan. What about on Bastila Fallen? How much speed he's got? 153 speed. That's insane. That is a lot of speed coming just straight from mods. Mods are super important for your speed because speed will win the day. You can punch up to teams that are far better than yours if you have a lot better speed. You'll notice in my Grand Arena stream, I was able to take out a Relic 7 gas with Relic 7, I can't remember who was with him, with Darth Revan, because I was just creaming him in speed. I was able to beat JTR. Now, JTR is significantly weaker than Darth Revan, but JTR, I was outpowered by, I think, 30,000 power in Grand Arena, and I don't think they even got to take a turn because they were so slow and they were modded so poorly. So speed is definitely a game changer. And so that's why I stress there are some characters, I will preface this by saying there are some characters for which speed is not important, but for most of your characters, make sure that you get them some speed so that they can take their turns and they're not getting stuck behind. You don't want your other opponent to go first. Now, one thing that goes right along with speed, which isn't something people talk about a whole lot, is turn order. And speed mods will definitely affect the order in which your characters take your turns. So one of my primary examples, the one that comes to mind for me, is going to be my Jedi. So for a long time, I had my best speed mods on Grandmaster Yoda, and Grandmaster Yoda was always going first, and that's not ideal. You ideally want Jedi Knight Revan to be going first, because then, I mean, for me, it either goes one of two ways. Either A, I pass the turn meter over to Bastila, she gives the buffs to Yoda, Yoda then passes the buffs to everyone else. Or option B, say I'm going up against like Darth Revan, mark Bastila Shan Fallen, and you can just start going to town on her. But the point is, it matters who goes first in the battle. So make sure, take a look at your characters, look at their speeds, see if they're gonna go in the right order. Other teams, like I think Imperial Troopers are a big one for turn order and who's gonna go first. So keep track of speed, and the other thing is supports. Now, it's not necessarily the case for all of my characters, but in general, you want your supports to have a decent amount of speed, ideally a lot of speed, so that they can keep giving buffs, keep supporting your good characters. So for instance, Bastila, do as I say, not as I do. Give as much speed to Bastila, say, as possible so that she can keep dishing out buffs as often as she can. Hermit Yoda, stuff like that. You want to get those buffs out as often as possible. So speed is going to be key, along with the turn order. Now, it's also important to know when speed is not important. There are characters for which speed is not the most important thing. One that comes to mind is going to be, let's go to our scoundrels, Infus Nest. So Infus Nest, to me, you can play, there are strategies we're using. Infus Nest with speed is viable, but for me, tenacity is what's super important for Infus Nest. So as I said, I was throwing away a lot of any mod that didn't have speed on it because I already have Infus Nest modded. But if I needed tenacity mods, because that's how I mod Infus Nest, her tenacity is at, what's her tenacity at? 99.49%. I want as much tenacity as possible so that she can resist daze, she can resist stuns, all that good stuff. The speed doesn't matter so much on her. So important to know people like her, people like maybe General Kenobi, speed's not necessarily as important. Fives, another character, because he's going to be countering so much. Echo might be another one where you don't necessarily need speed as much because he's getting called to assist all the time. So be able to prioritize where you put your speed mods. Don't just necessarily throw speed mods on everyone, because then you're gonna run out. So make sure you know when speed is important and when speed might not necessarily be so important. And when speed isn't necessarily so important leads us into our next topic, which is going to be your primaries. Make sure, like, these primaries are not on here just for show. These primary stats are actually really important. So for instance, this could be a protection mod, this could be an offense mod, but really, I need Nest to be as tenacious as physically possible. So I need this to be a tenacity mod. I don't care what these other stats are. Obviously, I want those stats to be good and to be helpful, but tenacity is going to be so key for my Nest to play, do any sort of a solo like that. And another character that's really big on what their primaries are would be someone like Emperor Palpatine. You know, speed's great and he needs to go as often as possible, but it doesn't do him a whole lot of good if his potency is garbage. I need him to be able to land his shock. I need him to be able to stun people, and that's not going to happen if he doesn't have potency. So make sure that you're using primaries. Now, on your Darth Revan team, stuff like that where it's in your squad arena, speed is going to be probably the most important person, or most important stat. But when you get into Grand Arena and you're not necessarily just looking at your best, your top tier team, that's when you're going to need to think a lot more about your primary stats, and you're really going to need to focus on that. And not say that speed isn't important, but it might need to take a little bit of a backseat. You can use some of these other ones, like all of these are going to be offense mods. All of these are going to be defense mods. All of these are going to be protection or health. So that's kind of an opportunity where you might be able to make up for the lack of speed on something like your cross or your triangle. But really important to make sure that you focus on those primaries, because they are super important. Another character would be someone like Malik. You want to make sure, let's go ahead and look at Malik. Because Malik, as we all know, whenever he starts battle, he loses all of his protection and gains that as health. So protection mods are going to be super important for him to have. I don't want to make this, you know, something like, I don't know, defense. I don't need him to have defense. I don't need him to have health because he's going to get more out of protection mods than he's going to get out of a health mod. This doesn't need to be critical chance. I need this to be protection. I need him to be as durable and tanky as possible. Not say other mods aren't right, but that is what I would personally do. So just some thoughts. Make sure that you're paying attention to the primaries. Don't only focus on speed, because in Grand Arena that can really, really bite you. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about, and this is something that was actually important enough with the introduction of Padme that CG actually made a post on it on their forums, and that is health and protection up. Now, Padme's Cunning Plan special is going to grant protection up to all, is it Light Side or Galactic Republic? All Light Side allies are going to recover health. Galactic Republic allies are going to spell themselves, and they're going to gain protection up 10% stacking. Now, that is important because protection up is based on your max health. So for someone in a Padme Amidala squad, you are going to want health mods. So like General Kenobi, stack as much health as physically possible on him. He gains as much protection up as he can, which turns into stacks of courage, which means a crap ton of damage. So that is something to be aware of. So someone like Ahsoka Tano, she doesn't necessarily need a whole bunch of speed, but health is going to be super nice to have because that's going to get her more protection up, more stacks of courage. Because she's not a super high damage dealing character, you can deal a lot of damage with her calls to assist plus the protection up, which turns into courage. So make sure for characters like Padme, for characters like Enfys Nest, people who get protection up, it is based on their max health. So make sure to know that and give health mods to the characters that you need them. Health mods in general are a pretty decent thing to give out. If you're not really sure what to give, health mods and speed mods are not bad options because it increases their survivability and it's going to increase their speed. So two options that are not usually terrible options. If I ever have a character where it's like I don't really have the mods that they need, I don't have offense mods, I don't have critical chance mods, I'll usually just go with health, just because no one's ever going to complain about having too much health. Very rarely would I say. So don't kill me on that. I know mod experts that it's not correct, but if you're ever down and out and you need some mods on there, health isn't a bad option. But guys, those are kind of my tips for how to not suck at modding. But wait, there's one more thing I want to talk about really quick. After I made this video, I talked to one of my guild mates, and I realized one more mistake that a lot of people make whenever they're modding their characters they don't think about, and that is mod sets. Important to notice that depending on what set you're going for, you need to have a certain number of mods of that set for it to count. So don't mishmash and put health mods and defense mods and offense mods and critical chance mods. Go with the set so you get the set bonus, and know which sets only require 2 and which require 4. Your 4s are going to be your crit damage, your offense, and your speed. Potency, tenacity, critical chance, health, defense all only require 2. Do not mismatch your sets. Make sure that you put sets together so you get the set bonus. Okay, that's very important to make sure that they're at level 15 so you get the full set bonus. That is actually incredibly important and something that I'd originally left out of this video, so I went ahead, removed it from YouTube, wanted to re-add this, but please, this is very important, so make sure you pay attention to this fact. All right, thanks guys. The biggest one, like I said, keep on top of your mods. Don't let them get away from you, because then it becomes such a daunting task that you just never deal with them, and you're gonna really struggle in Grand Arena and stuff like that. So make sure you stay on top of your mods, make sure you're farming speed mods, don't waste your slicing materials on mods that you don't need, and hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you did, like I said, like, subscribe, notification bell, all that fun stuff, and that's all I got for you guys. We'll talk to you guys in another video. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.